Alright, hello everyone. So in this video, I just received my opponent's turn, and before just going more into it, I just want to see what he did during it. Alright, so before I go into that, I just want to describe the battle we're playing. So this is Marciano. It occurred on the 2nd of August in 1554. Now, this was an engagement in something called in the Italian Wars. And the basic idea here is the French army tried to pull back during the night. And that pullback didn't really work. And what ended up happening is the Spanish were harassing the French, and then the French commander kind of gave up his retreat and decided to offer battle. And in the end, this was a pretty big defeat from the French. Now, just a very brief Wikipedia description. What is happening is this Spanish cavalry over here crossed the stream, attacked and defeated the French cavalry, and then turned around, and the French were pressing on the center and attacked the French rear line. Also, this artillery unit actually had a pretty big effect on the Swiss. Now, to kind of signify that the French did not want to give battle is all the front units are in column formation, while the Spanish are kind of much more drawn up for battle. Remember, battle is signified by these four little dots. Sorry, line formation is signified by these four little dots over here, while line is this triangle over here. Now, the way I think I'm going to approach this battle is, it seems like a stream is pretty actually challenging to attack through. Because what happens is there's this state for units called disrupted. Think of it as a state of disorganization. Once a unit crosses the stream, they become disrupted. And their kind of morale drops, they're less effective in combat, and they're more vulnerable to attacks. So it's hard to attack through the stream. So I don't think a lot is going to happen in the center here too. And it seems like my opponent is not really pushing to attack me yet. Maybe there's line of sight. So what's happening back here? Let me see. Yeah, I don't really have good line of sight to a few hexes. So all these ones that are dark are what my unit can't see. Right. So you might have more forces here, but I don't think it's just. So the part where most things are going to happen is going to be, I think, my left flank, because the stream ends and the elevation is similar. And from what I know of the battle, by opening up this scenario and seeing my opponent's forces, is these are not the highest quality formations. He generally has more good units in the center than to the left of the flank. So I think my plan is going to be to hold the center, and if he moves, that's great against me in there. If he doesn't, then whatever. And then I'm going to push. So I do have this formation here. So I highlighted all the units that belong to this command. They're commanded by Polo Orsini, the French Sienese army, right? And he has actually 5 large units of, I believe these are arquebus infantry. They're range of 2 hexes. I'm going to push them along this line over here and engage in some shooting to weaken his line here. This seems to be the only place that I can really push, because I don't want to get involved in this in the stream. I'm going to hold the center. All right. The next thing, or my next plan is, I have, so historically the battle was, I think, lost on the right flank for the French. And I am outnumbered cavalry-wise. slightly by about, so this is about 300 men, this is about 500, again 500, we don't know the exact number, but I have 1,000. I do have more heavy cavalry, so I have 500 heavy cavalry, he has 300 heavy cavalry. So for the right flank, I thought about this, and I looked, and if he crosses the stream, he becomes disrupted, and I think I can counterattack his heavy cavalry with my cavalry. And I feel like I can actually defeat him. So one thing I should mention is my heavy cavalry is quality C, while his is one level higher, it's quality B. But I think if they cross the stream, they become disrupted, and I can do, I think, pretty well. My only concern with this stream is, so he can push these 2 dragoon units here, and then it's going to take me 2 cavalry units to counter them, and then if I counter them, I'm going to disrupt, because if cavalry charges and wants it melee, it becomes disrupted and disorganized. And then he can counter my disorganized heavy cavalry with his unit heavy cavalry. I think that's one way to win. So I have to think a bit more about what I'm going to do on the right flank. I can see, I think I have, let's see, this formation over here. This is also a problem because all the force under this command, it's very pike heavy. He only has 1 arquebus unit, while he has several. So my concern again is he can push them over the stream and then outshoot me and force me to engage. So it's kind of uncomfortable because it seems like I might be forced to attack in the center too. Right. So I thought I had a plan here, but now as I'm talking out loud, it seems weaker. All right, but so I think what I might do is shift at least 1 arquebus unit from this center command here to kind of have an arquebus unit here and here, covering this ridge. Then, or maybe I also want to push a cavalry unit. Sorry, not cavalry unit, pike unit more forward. All right, so I'm going to come back in the next video and tell you what I said. But I definitely want to attack here. The last command that I have is these elite Swiss pikemen. You can see that, so for example, this quality is A+, which I guess is possibly one of the highest. They're also fanatical, so they really have a high morale bonus. And again, this is Swiss pikemen, 1,000 men, quality A. I'm also going to have to think about how I'm going to deploy them. I can either move them to the center, and again, if he moves his arquebuses forward, I'm going to have to this area, I'm going to be outshot, I'm going to have to attack. But I'm also tempted to move them over here, where I think I have an advantage, and I kind of want to press it. It might also make sense to move them to the right flank, because I do feel a bit disadvantaged on the cavalry dimension. Alright, so these are my initial thoughts for the scenario. I'm going to think about them more, and then tomorrow hopefully you'll see my first turn. Alright, thank you very much.